'cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Can I be for real? We're gonna talk about this a couple times. Liam bit me here. It's kind of looks like it's it. Liam bit me. Super fun. Maybe is it under there now, but super duper. Ruinous child.
He's not necessarily anti-vaccine, but he wants safe vaccines.
Okay, I already got like.
When you say that Luigi Mangione shouldn't be able
and I'm
to
not sorry,
chickens left to make the eggs, we have these chickens finally starting to get hatched.
So who is
There was not a single change in policy.
So can
by
I ask
Trump.
who decided that Mahmoud Khalil should be detained? Like whose decision?
And what was he charged? Wasn't he not charged with anything yet?
Like Mahmoud Khalil has not
It's
actively.
still being investigated.
Isn't that
He's never
weird that-
committed a crime.
Here's the thing.
We're gonna
and
start
this
with
is
my
gonna
priest,
kind of
because
breach into different
favorite.
territory, Patriot Act type stuff. He doesn't have to commit a crime to be deported, particularly if his, allegation is for supporting a terrorist organization, which is at this point irrefutable. Even if he's not exactly a terrorist, even if he's not blowing things up or anything like that, if he's a member of an
just looks
organization
like a
at Columbia
terrorist,
University,
so
which itself
good enough.
on October 8th said, we are in full support of what is happening with Hamas. We support violent
I was not charged with
resistance or
whatever
something
they
like
said.
that.
So to Adam's point,
Actually,
if
you know what?
if
I should Hi. Oh no, I don't. I look terrible. So two things. I've been wearing my contacts. I got a new contact prescriptions and contacts. So I have an appointment next week, and I have to be wearing them more so they can see if they're okay. Yes, and then that's the bite mark right there. Like I said, it looks like a zit because God bless him. Yeah, so now I have trauma though, because he'll go in for the nuzzles and the snuggles, and I'm like immediately like, yeah, I actually have a bruise on my stomach from where he last bit me, and it was only a couple days before that, so not super fun. 6:30. I think I'm gonna get the back item. I think I could honestly really use the staff though. Staff doesn't seem as useful. Versatility back is not great for anyone who wants to see this. Dagger, I don't think I have an offhand that's commensurate. Why? My bag none should have been updated. That's gonna annoy the fuck out of me because I'm not gonna be able to. I'm gonna have to. Bag brother. It just actually annoys me. Because, yes. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, he definitely is eating wrong. I just don't know. I think we could decide. I think we're just gonna go with the back and call it a day. Every time I go for a back item, this is a better back, but a lower eye level. Okay, we'll do it after. It's like, and then what are my wrists? 632. Okay, my wrists are good. I don't know why I did that. I need hands. Hands, that's an offhand. 629, 626. Yeah, but like it's giving me like a complex, the fact that he's biting me like the love bites, but they're not nice love bites. They're like literally let me snuggle in. He's also been hitting, and I'm not here for that. So,
Government, the executive branch, if a presidential power has the authority to decide what group is a terrorist,
he hasn't hit
and
Bernie.
then has the authority to decide how much a person's affiliation with any
hits.
group deems them a terrorist.
So
if there is an organization that, like, if there's a president after Trump,
let me know if the video's too loud, okay?
Deems that a group that you are in support of is a terrorist organization. Like, how are we deciding who is a terrorist organization, who is in favor of these terrorist organizations, and
kind of
what level threat they are? Because to me, it seems like a violation of his First Amendment right to speak on behalf.
You're making a weird face, but didn't he just, like, didn't he say stuff? You just admitted himself.
Your First Amendment right gets revoked the second that you incite violence onto another individual.
Did he incite violence?
Wait,
did we have any proof of what
he supported the violence that has been done by Hamas?
I think it is dangerous to begin labeling and deporting people on the grounds that they are a terrorist without due process. Because if any president can do that, then maybe the next president does that to people that you actively agree with, and maybe the next president isn't. I mean, I don't.
Well, did he label him a terrorist? I thought they.
That's why he's being
I think the
detained
Trump
and
admin is labeling him, but also I'm pretty sure he hasn't been charged. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's no charge. Isn't that odd?
No, he's never been charged with a
Kind of scary.
Well, he's not an actual citizen, for one, and for
Still
two,
probably got
He
charged.
does have a green card, though.
He does have a green card, which
Yeah,
they have the
it
power
kind
to
of was a
revoke.
bit loud even
There
on my
this is
end.
more of a
Actually,
question of
unironically.
how much do we
Could be their
want to
tone,
allow the government to have power?
because they're
Because I think
being
what
very
we might
passionate.
actually surprisingly all agree upon is that the government probably
We got
needs to
two
have a
disc
little bit
priests.
less
Let's
power
go.
in this regard, in regards to citizens. Like, I am not really in support of the government being able to say, oh, well, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist, if you are a naturalized citizen. Mahmoud Khalil was born in Syria. He came to America on a student visa and then acquired a green card, which is, hey, a great thing. But and I'm not saying he's a terrorist, but unfortunately the government has so much power that in the eyes of the government, supporting a group that itself issued a statement in support of a terrorist group, by extension, makes you not necessarily a terrorist, but able to be deported for terrorism.
I don't think that green card holders should have less constitutional rights than natural-born citizens.
Well, that's a fundamental disagreement.
Generally,
Yeah,
they
The
don't.
First Amendment should apply to anybody.
I think that, yeah, exactly.
This is probably,
Because
I think,
everyone
one of the
here
first times in
legally should be protected
history.
by the First Amendment, and that includes him.
Can you
At
guys
least that
see
I
where
know
I'm
of.
coming from when I say
Patriot
this does worry
Act,
me from the perspective
made things a little
of
weird
free
for a
speech in the
while.
First Amendment? Conservatives
Even
should
then,
know,
I don't
should love
know.
free speech more than anybody, apparently.
Without
It
like
creates
solid
this chilling effect, almost,
information
where
of them
people
being
are
terrorists.
scared
I
to
don't
voice
know.
their opinion, and you probably shouldn't be voicing pro-Hamas opinions. But now what if there's like a pro-Palestinian protester who's a little bit worried? It creates this chilling effect, and it's almost like a slippery slope. Not to use the slippery slope fallacy, but it does sometimes scare me when the government
You have these
is
debate
without
words
even
and
charging
weird
people,
words.
detaining them because he didn't charge them.
No, and I know. but
Detaining.
And this case is setting a precedent on what that means going forward. Like right now, it's Mahmoud Khalil, but who will it be next time?
And can I just say,
That's how that already happened to January 6 prisoners. They did get charged, but so many of them were sitting without trial that we had to issue a blanket
Who?
pardon because some of them hadn't
that
seen
is
the light
not
of
why
day.
there was
Who's been
blanket
sitting
pardon.
without
They were not
trial?
sitting there without a trial.
due
They had due process.
process?
Can you guys name
That
those
is
basics
wild.
or didn't get due process?
Not off the top of my
Sorry
head
to put you on the spot like that,
necessarily.
but like, come on, if you're saying that these people aren't getting due process, there should be somebody who you have like a prime example, like a strong
Yeah.
There were
example.
individuals from J6
That's
that were
silly.
just released like
Did I
a
get
month
my food
ago
buff? I
because they've
did.
been in
Okay.
prison this
Okay,
entire
great.
time.
Is
I
your
don't
source
know.
Truth Social? Because
Okay,
I
well,
don't
I
think-
can mention somebody.
One of my sources is someone that was actually there. Kind of how
My
you guys are
source
going
is someone
along,
who's
oh,
actually
like,
there.
people
Must be
being
true
afraid
then.
to speak out. I mean,
Someone
that's
who's
how
there would never lie.
Republicans have felt for the last
Right,
4 years.
right?
We would speak out. You guys would be. Biden was on stage that was essentially comparing us to Nazis.
Wild.
No, he
if
was
we support, yes, he was.
What was
if
the
we
line?
supported, but he was,
Special
he was
coming.
comparing us. Well, I'm saying there's
As a
video
Lily.
evidence of it. He was comparing MAGA believers to Nazis,
So to
and
my-
I think that made us afraid. But I think that's why we have those definitions
Spread.
in
Why
mind
not?
to be able to have those
Like,
checks.
if
you.
so now, if the next president is a Democrat, and they label organizations that are speaking out in favor of the far right as terrorists, and any green card holder who speaks
What
out
the
in
fuck
support
are
of
these
your cause
disc
is
priests
now a
doing?
terrorist and
Asking
can be
for a
detained and
friend.
deported without due process. That
Literally.
would hurt your cause. So right now it's pro-Palestinian protest and
Spread.
it's pro-Hamas, but next time it can be anyone, and that's the fear.
And we all have the same color, so I know that we're at each other's necks a bit, but we all agree that definitionally he's not a terrorist. We all agree that the government should probably be a little bit more careful with who they choose to target and deport. I mean, hey, if there are conservatives being unfairly targeted by the government, I'm not okay with that. We've sat here and talked for a while now. You know that I'm genuinely not okay with the government censoring conservatives or all of these, whatever you guys think the Biden administration was doing. And yes, I mean, we can all agree.
This is messy. These people are like, don't.
When they're targeting people
you
in
know?
these protests.
Luigi Mangione's journal, not manifesto, about healthcare industry grievances. Attorney argues. Was Luigi Mangione justified? 3,
Was
2,
he justified?
1.
In what?
Ooh.
Reading his journal? Like, I don't understand the
Before
question.
you all
I
attack
only
the hell
heard
out
parts
of
of
me,
it.
I want to say, Luigi Mangione hasn't been tried yet. The trial is not
True.
completed, and
He
he is
did kill him.
presumed innocent until
Not
proven
okay.
guilty. So I think that going into this debate, like it shouldn't be about whether or not he killed the CEO of United Healthcare, because we cannot claim that yet. And I've had a lot of discussions about
Due
Luigi
process. I feel like
Mangione
some people
under
forgot
the
like how
presumption
legal system
that
works. Like we
he's
just discarded it.
done it, and that
People
he
have
is
this
the
feeling like
person
it doesn't work, so it's
And
all
I'm not
bad.
going to
I just don't
He
understand that.
definitely did do it. He definitely did do it. Well, here's the thing. There's two separate things we can argue about. The legality of the trial.
Why do I have
I don't
aggro?
want to argue about the morality of killing the CEO of healthcare, because I think it is immoral to kill anyone,
Oh.
regardless
Yeah,
of your
I
belief.
think no.
What I think
Very
he is
people I've ever
justified
met would
in is his
disagree with that
grievances
statement. You should
with
probably
the
not
United
kill,
States healthcare
regardless of how
Can we
many
all
they
agree
are.
with this
Like,
fundamental
you just
fact?
don't.
Like the health.
You don't take
He's
things into your hands and
justified in
start
his
killing
grievances,
people.
as you said about the healthcare system, not justified in his
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, what do you? I see you sitting there. Healthcare is perfect.
Because therefore that was the reason that he killed him. And I don't think any reason to kill anybody is ever justified.
Well, that's what we're saying. We're saying that the killing is not justified. But if you separate the act from the reason for the act, I think that it is justified to have grievances with the U.S.
I think it's hard for me to separate that.
Well, here's the
That's
thing.
fair.
Here's the question.
That's fair.
Do you think the healthcare industry in America is kind of fucked?
That's basically what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, I think
Okay.
healthcare and insurance.
So he was justified to be worried, but then everything he did after that. I guess the argument that I'd make for why you can't just kill people in the streets, which we all seem to agree on this, is that it weakens the cohesion of a society, number one. But number
people
two, I
just
think one of the
stupid? I'm
beautiful things
just-
about
I'm
America
confused.
is that there are many avenues for our
As far as
voice
his
to be
fight
heard.
goes,
So
not
even if you don't
the
vote,
political
you can go
discourse.
out there and protest. You can call your representative. You can post online. There are 100 different ways for your voice to be heard. And
Like
none
the
of
tanks-
those
I don't think the
include just
tanks are
murdering
tanking,
someone in
like,
the middle of the street. That's
unironically.
probably not an avenue that we should take in America. If you're living in like an authoritarian country and that's the last resort, that's a different conversation. But we live in America, and this dude seems pretty smart, right? Like Luigi Mangione could have just gotten a degree in medicine and just like helped people, actually helped people. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think with all this, the thing that's like, frankly, just
Like, why do I have so many ads on me? Do people not know to like take around the thing?
Targeting them, but
Like,
it's just
genuinely
I've
confused.
seen it the most is a lot of these liberal women are.
How do we have a
almost
healer
making
alive
it
that's
real,
not out healing the dead healers?
talking about how he was handsome, and it's almost
Yeah,
like this
I'm a
like
little
good
confused.
fetish.
They did that with Ted Bundy.
Basics.
No, yeah, and I think
it's just a societal thing.
It's
like-
just, but it's, I mean, like, do we live in a society where it's like that's not to celebrate it? And I think that's what, out of this whole
Alright, I
thing,
got you, bro.
really like, it really
Medium
disgusted
bull.
me.
Did you notice the online reaction to Luigi Mangione? A lot of people in the comment section of videos were like,
Like, these
not
people, like, why the
supportive,
fuck
but
are they all the way
understood
out
where
here?
he was coming from,
Like,
healthcare-wise.
genuinely asking
Oh
for
yeah,
a
and a lot of
question.
people hide behind their screens.
For sure, but can you understand?
Well, now we're here in person, and I will say, as one of these
What are you showing me?
I do not support the killing of anyone. I mean, he hasn't been tried yet, and I don't want to make a claim to his guilt or innocence. With that being said, I do think that it's fair to have grievances with the United States healthcare system. It's objectively broken. I think that I know I've personally experienced issues with the healthcare system not providing for me in times when I've really needed it. I'm sure many of you have and witnessed that within your families. And I think that the reasons that he was upset are very much valid. But what he did with that upset, with his anger, was not.
An interesting argument that I've heard is when you say that Luigi Mangione shouldn't be able to unilaterally kill anybody, people on the other side, I don't know if I agree with this, they'd say that Brian Thompson, the CEO, was making the decision to kill people with his healthcare company. I think it's a little bit
I think
more
this is an
nuanced than that,
absurd
but if I want to
argument.
provide the
I don't think
alternative
real
argument.
people actually
What do you think about that?
care to that
I think it's a
degree.
very great. It's a very great. It's great that you.
Are people still talking about
I
Luigi?
actually kinda
Am
wanna
I just like out of touch?
You agree with that argument?
that Brian Thompson. I mean, I think
I'm not saying he's like forgotten in any capacity. I just don't understand like
going back to due process,
the discourse. I guess I just don't hear people being like, yeah, no, he definitely did something
somewhat responsible for the deaths of
that he should have done.
Probably.
Like, if he did kill him, then yeah.
But at the same time,
sure.
he shouldn't have just been shot dead. It should have been tried.
Usually, I think pretty much most normal people agree that murder is wrong.
Luigi Mangione is justified in his grievance, not justified in the alleged murder.
What he just said.
Yeah.
Boom, we're done.
Yeah, I feel like most people agree with that. That seems like a silly prompt.
I'm not telling you. Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
Yes, I need that pet. Need it.
You don't have the cards.
With my
right now.
52 roll, let's go.
Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards.
No, bro. This is my main. They're not gonna give me shit all for loot. I'm not even being funny anymore. Like, it's just like it's a fact of nature. On my main, which I can do. I think maybe it's because like my numbers are. I can do fine with like okay gear. I think, unironically, this is the lowest geared character that I have.
And he's gotten
maybe better on stats just because I pay more attention to her stats. But like,
Trump has a unique form of narcissism where
it's
he's attracted to powerful people.
Bizarre.
You guys not narcissistic. You
The
guys
thing
are
I
way
put all my
behind
time and
us
effort
right now.
into.
I think
right?
every politician is narcissistic.
Trump has a unique Trump has a unique form of narcissism where he's attracted to powerful people. You can see this when he talks about his love letters with Xi Jinping or Kim Jong-un, or when he talks about Vladimir Putin. He comes up with nicknames for Trudeau. But what's his nickname for Putin?
Why is everyone sitting out like half
He has
health?
no
What are we
nickname
doing?
for Putin. This proves my
No,
point.
I didn't
This
get
dude
shit,
plays
man.
soft with
The one thing that dropped for me that I could need on, I didn't need, so I didn't need it.
We're talking about Putin right now. We're talking
Like it was a head item. I have a tiered head item that is better.
Same with Xi Jinping.
I mean, I can do it for like basically offset, but
Vladimir Putin
I'm not that greedy, and let's be honest, we're not gonna quote have an offset.
Zelensky has that lack of supply,
I
so he
need,
feels like he can demean him.
mana.
He feels like he can deride him in the
I say
Oval
that, I
Office
don't-
because he views Zelensky as weaker
Well, look at all the
than Putin. This is how
mages.
Trump
I'm pretty
operates.
sure I don't
would
even
love
have
to
it.
think that
Oh,
Putin has some
okay,
sort
I
of
have an
thirst
int
on
buff.
Trump,
That's good.
But that's not what it
Thanks.
is. Trump has a narcissistic brain, and he's attracted to Putin. But if I can just
Fine, I'll
say
just
one
keep
more thing.
healing the
I
entire
think that
way,
Donald
everyone else
Trump
just
is
takes a
only
nap.
legitimizing Putin's imperial
Where's
ambitions
my-
when he
don't I have
tries
mana?
to
That's
give
not
a
right,
peace
yeah.
deal or sign a peace
Boom.
deal with no
got
security
mana.
guarantees. This whole debate should center around
23%.
security guarantees, in my opinion. But
I'm just not gonna heal anyone. if they
I mean,
notice.
I think I don't like the word favor because it's like there's a positive
Did someone drop me
connotation.
and I just like didn't
I
see
think
it?
what Trump's doing in his relationship with Putin is exactly
I'm just gonna
what I
bust
would
your
be
cooldown
doing as a
because we have one.
businessman. I think is what he's doing.
Apparently
as a
the other
businessman.
healers are
When you're making
fucking
deals in
confident.
business, it doesn't matter if you like someone or dislike them, you get along, you don't get along. The number one thing is to maintain a cordial relationship.
he didn't do that with Zelensky in the Oval Office.
Well, because
Bro.
here's the thing, if anything happens
Bro,
and things
say
go
what you
south
want.
and
The
we're
way
at
we
brink of
treated
World War
him
III,
is fucking
America's gonna be a lot
disgusting.
more afraid of Russia than they're going to be afraid of Ukraine.
I don't
You
even
guys
care if you don't
realize that
support the
treating
war
Russia
with
as one of the
Ukraine. You don't
powerhouses
treat
of the
foreign
world,
dignitaries like
maintain a
that.
cordial relationship
In what
with
world?
them
In what fucking
is a lot
world?
more crucial than
A
maintaining
non-English
a relationship
speaking
with
This is just
Ukraine.
this
Ukraine has just
fucking
taken Ukraine
president
has just
from
taken
another
advantage
country.
of the United States, of our hundreds of billions of dollars,
disgusting.
and they've done nothing with it. Zelensky's went and got all his flashy things, and he's been living a good
You
life.
host him and then you
Can I
But
ambush
how are they
him.
taking advantage? They're actively at war. They were attacked by
Disgusting.
Russia. That's
But
not
why
taking
is
advantage.
Yeah,
not,
I don't
not
know,
all that
man.
money is being used
Well, can I
in
say to
military
you,
and aid?
we're not
I've
sending
kind of quit on
money
loot
over
for
there.
this
80%
character.
of what we sent are military.
I'm sure I'll get APs. To be fair, she's not sitting bad. 626 is not bad. I just have like 1, 2, 3, 4 blue items, 5 in my back. I think I'm gonna pick out the back, the high. My heartburn is that you can upgrade the items. So even though it's a higher eye level, the stats on the lower eye level one are actually better. It's like haste and crit, I think, and the higher eye level has versatility. I think I need to relook at what is important to make to priest, but I'm not sure what fucking versatility does at all. That's like a fucking leatherware fucking, you know? Like,
Openly attacks the
That's
Ukrainian
not-
border and
it's not a me
begins a
problem.
war that turns into World War III. it started with Russia's attack.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole
Okay,
like.
but I mean, I think in that instance, it's going to be important that we.
We're
maintain
gonna
the
let
peace.
Russia totally take
well.
over
Now you're at
Ukraine
war.
and
You
take
have to
whatever
make
they
it a
want.
The
Yeah,
idea
but
that
it's better to be at war, having cordial
because we don't
want to
go into World War
versus
III.
Russia being our enemy in.
But Russia
And then
is
when
our
Russia
enemy.
invades
But
like
if a country
Poland,
were
what
to start
happens?
World War III,
Is it the same
I would
thing?
hope that they would be the enemy of the United States.
Like, where's the line? I just don't understand.
Well, I don't think Russia's a friend, but you need to have cordial relationships, just as we have
Cordial
that
relationships
we're
with
hoping to have
Russia?
with China and these other
So
powerhouses.
it's
that
funny
seems
that you
like
said that
someone
we
who
need to
doesn't
have
know a lot
cordial
about
relationships with
a lot.
Russia, but when it came to Canada, we don't need to have cordial relationships.
Russia has not been a friend for a
When
very
it
long
comes to
time.
Ukraine, it's okay to make jokes that
how's
we don't
this
have to have
person
cordial
still-
relationships and it's okay to fight. So I mean, that kind of goes into the point of him favoring him because the only one who he is willing
have an
to have a
offline
cordial
person
relationship
and
with
just people are
is
like, yeah,
Russia.
you know,
But in all of these
sometimes
other
people go
instances,
offline.
he's openly
That's wild.
dismissive. He's openly
I do feel like I
offensive,
use
he's
that
openly
phrase too much
insulting,
now to
and I think
describe
that
like
does
everything
show
because I
a
don't
sense of
want to
favorship.
offend
All
people.
right,
Like my
let's
goal,
jump in on
unironically,
Trump
people
and
can be
the Russia
spitting in my
connection
face. I
because
still don't
as
want to be an
cordial as
asshole.
he-
I do
it's
think
kind of like
people
interesting,
should
like,
be treated
the
with
more
respect
cordial Trump is
unless
with
they're
the country,
bullying
the
someone.
sterner
You know,
he
like
is with that
for
country.
just being an
Yes,
absolute
Vladimir Putin
tit.
during the election cycle
I do
said
think
he would have endorsed
just
and
because you
voted
don't
for
agree with
Biden.
me
He's
doesn't
gonna-
mean that you're a
and-
shit human.
okay,
That
Putin,
being
let
said,
me say this. Yes, it's Putin. But then at that same time, he said,
I
okay,
find
well,
it really
Kamala's
hard
here,
to
she laughs funny.
understand
Biden endorsed her. I
the
like
point
her.
of view
At
where,
that
like,
same
it's
forum,
okay
when
to
he was
treat
speaking about
people
this, when asked how does this really
dignitaries
affect you,
like that.
Putin said, well, honestly, Trump
And
was
then
the
at the
worst
same
for Russia.
time,
There's more sanctions and
got it.
everything
You don't want to
than we had ever
continue
seen.
funding a war
And Biden
forever.
was way easier on Russia. At the same time that Biden was
Are we
canceling the Keystone
not
XL pipeline
acknowledging
between
any of the
America-
impacts this has on our global relations with our allies? And I guess that word is kind of doing a lot of heavy lifting because nowadays I'm not really sure what that word means. What is an ally? Is it an ally in name only? Because I thought Mexico and Canada were our allies and they have like the highest proposed tariff. So like that's how we treat our allies? Is that just like a thing we do now? Because the reasons, because America first. I'm struggling to make it work. I can't piece it together like to make sense to me. Not because it doesn't make sense. I don't understand the perspective at all. How is Ukraine comparable to like the war in the Middle East? We're still bombing Houthis, right? And we're still helping Israel. So we're not even out of all of that, but at the same time, we can't give Ukraine our shitty old weapons, which is basically all we've done so far. By the way, say what you want about the funding. It's amounted to, that is the number that they equate to the things we've given them. Not pure funds. There have been funds, not in the magnitude that has been reported. So it's just wild to me. Some shitty old fucking Soviet era garbage that we don't even want. Yeah, it does. It's exhausting, but at the same time, like, so like Bob and I have had a couple conversations about how consuming it can be, and I try and turn myself off a lot of times. No lie. But I find myself having to engage to also stay informed. I think I have genuinely developed a really sour taste for people who have no fucking idea what's going on. Maybe because it really does, since Bob's a federal worker, impact me very personally.
Stay away from lines.
You know, I got kids, and increased grocery bills do impact me. Market instability impacts me. Like, it just...
Watch your step.
I have to stay informed. Also my job. I have to stay informed. I don't get a choice of not staying informed, right? But I also am still struggling with I guess the messaging, because there's so much contrary messaging too. So even if you are trying to be generous, it's extremely difficult. I'm not really sure. Even the goals feel like they're changing. I just, doing tariffs because of all the fentanyl coming across the border. Then we're doing it because we got bad trade deals, and then we're doing it because
Watch your
the
step.
trade deficit. Obviously, ignoring the fact that trade deficit isn't necessarily an innately bad thing. I don't know. I personally don't want to get fired from my job and have to go work in a steel plant. But, I mean, I guess we just fundamentally have different versions of what America and its greatness is, right? I don't see America as great when we're doing low-skill labor.
Watch your step.
I'm not going to apologize for that. Things that by the way, I think I've even heard some economists talk about that robots do now. Like, these aren't even low-skill jobs that humans are doing. We have robots to fill that void. So, and we don't, by the way, we can't pull up, even if the market wanted it, we could not make a new steel or fucking plant overnight. Car manufacturing overnight. years. But we're axing all the jobs, so that makes sense. Enforcing the tariffs now, right? It generally just a lot of action without plans. And if there's a plan, it's not being clearly, obviously communicated downwards and upwards.
Watch your step.
That's kind of unprecedented as well. And I guess in my government service, I haven't noted any lapses in communication, and you know, people think they're like all united out. It just feels like if you're not saying yes, then it doesn't even matter. And yes doesn't mean you understand what's going on, which is real. So I have a hard time with the rational, irrational, just like kind of almost dismissing it as that, because
watch your step.
I would genuinely feel, although it may not make sense to me, these people think that it is rational, right? Like, somewhere in their minds, this makes sense. Doesn't have to empirically make sense. I think I'm. Is it because we have part of the facts? Is it because we don't care about facts? Like, what part? I guess. I'm trying to find out where my breakdown in applying logic to the illogical situation is occurring.
Watch your step.
I guess I'm also just trying to find faith in the electorate. I'm having a really hard time recently in like believing that people want good for their country, which is a really sad place to be. I do truly believe some people don't know what good looks like and they're gonna believe whatever they're told. But then is our voting base so non-critically thinking?
Watch your step.
I'm talking at a very late base level of critical thinking. I'm talking like analysis, just base level critical thinking. We can't like read facts, or we just innately take what's given to us without question. Or I don't know. I guess I don't understand. How do you excuse away facts, I guess? Or rather, not excuse. You explain away a fact, right? Has like truth been so debased that we don't know what truth is? That's actually where I feel like I am. That I feel like people don't understand what objective truth is. And objective truth doesn't mean you're right. Right? Having a fact doesn't innately make you right. It just means you have a fact. All the other like analyses, etc. after that, like, is where like brain power comes in. But I feel like we were not even like agreeing on factual things. Like the starting point is so completely different. And I guess I don't know how to operate in that world, right? And to be fair, most of the people I've come across are not like that. I don't think I have the opportunity, nor would I want the opportunity to engage with people who deny the reality of fact things. I do think there are people who will form opinions without information. That's just a personal pet peeve, and I think a lot of people are very ready to do, myself included sometimes. Sometimes I try really hard not to. But also I feel like, I guess, I'm not quite sure. We talk about like echo chambers. I'm sorry, I'm losing thought, but I'm also trying to like verbalize what I'm thinking. We talk about echo chambers and like the bubbles you can create for yourself, especially with like online, how easy it is to get your echo chamber and your bubbles and like isolate yourself from contrary opinions. But I guess my thought in that is like, has it become so isolated that we don't hear the other things, right? Like, I feel like I've actually had thoughts to myself, not I wouldn't say charitable to the tariffs, but I feel like I could actually rationalize some of the tariffs. Like, I actually could think of how, even though this is how it's being implemented right now, broad scope seemingly, is a mechanism for negotiations, is a mechanism of fucking with the markets to lower our national debt. I can actually apply a couple things generously that make the tariffs not on their face a terrible idea, even though I would say broadly every economist agrees it's a terrible idea. But like I can live in a world like that, but I don't feel like the contrary is true. Like, I don't feel like I hear other people who strongly support Trump at all in any capacity coming to agreement or acknowledging, you know, facts of what's happening, you know, or even just and just the facts, not even like the potential of why these could be harmful things, or why, you know, hey, this is a lie. Like, I don't know. It's wild. It's just wild. Like, the signal gate thing, I would say specifically, is mind-boggling. Not that it happened, because I think people make mistakes. I think especially politicians and elected officials who have little to no experience in anything, that they would do something as simply stupid as contacting each other with most likely classified information on a quote secure app. What I don't understand is two, how no one, not a single human, was held accountable in any capacity. Doesn't surprise me there was a investigation, I'll put in air quotes. But no one was held accountable in any, like, we didn't do anything. We're going to continue to use Signal? Like, I am mind boggled. The second part of that is like, hold on, I said odds left, evens right. I'm
5,
odds left.
4. 3,
Other part of that
2, 1.
is that like, we just don't care. Like, I guess because there wasn't harm, the potentiality or the fact that something was done wrong doesn't matter because no one got hurt? Is that... I'm trying to figure out another case in which that would at all be true. Like, I heard someone online make a really good analogy. You know, it's like having your buddy tell you that they drove drunk for like the last month, but they didn't ever like kill anyone or get in an accident. I mean, like, what? Like, why?
Watch your step.
Why? Why would you do that? But that's what I think I guess I'm coming to terms with when I say, like, I'm struggling with, like, my fellow man and the voting demographic and the, you know, the electorate is, when I hear people like kind of explain it away, there's two things that I see occur. One, they totally rationalize that it was not classified. It doesn't matter. The other cope I've heard is that it's actually the real problem is that a reporter was at it. It's not the things that were done. It's not the way in which they were done. It was the fact that there was a reporter. That's a wild assessment to me as well. That one really fucking blew my mind. The other one, which I also think is a little crazy, is that they've never heard of it. And that's kind of, I think, where I started on this idea, is that, like, I'm just, like, baffled that there's, like, you don't have to consume the news 24/7, but that somehow this hasn't made it to their feed at all?
Helps
like,
so.
in any capacity? Even if you're listening to your pundits reject it. What? That's so confusing. You don't even know? Like, and I get it. Some
Stack
people work
high.
like multiple jobs.
Stack
This is
high.
not their life. But the alarming amount of times I've heard it, like, it just seems to be, I hate to say it, it sounds like a cop-out, because it doesn't, like, in my head, I can't even actually, there's no way you haven't heard of this, right? Like, what? Hi, Beef, how are you doing, man? I just realized this gorilla's name is Torque. I'm pretty sure, if not that exact name, it was something very close. The gorilla played by Rosie O'Donnell in Tarzan. Just putting that out there. Yeah, I don't, I guess for my sanity, Beaver, I don't want to. Because then, like, then what, right? Like, there's nothing left. I've had the stance that I feel like there definitely should be another qualifying factor in the ability to vote. But I just don't, like, and what, right? Like, where do you go from that point? If you don't think the person next to you can make an informed decision, regardless of if they believe the same things you believe, but they can't make an informed decision, or like, or I don't know. I don't think sanity should have to do with voting. Do I? Should there be a mental acuity test? I don't know. It's wild. We're talking about birthright citizenship. Like, I just never, it wasn't on the bingo card. There were some things that I actually have become so, like, infuriated at that I'm just like, yep, he said he was going to do this, so. There was a large, I think, conglomerate of voter base that voted for this and really thought he was memeing. The people who think he's memeing about Canada, it just still kind of baffles me. How many times does he have to say it for it to be real? Do we have to have troops in Canada in order for you to understand that he's not joking? It's not an epic meme. I heard a really good point in an interview recently. You know, Trump has these nicknames for other world leaders. Trudeau, one, governor of Canada, right? And that's just like the one that comes to mind. But he called them nicknames. I think he called it Angela Merkel something years ago on his first term. But he kind of one of his trademark things, right? He does these like sweet disses, right? The people he never does that to are not what most people in the free world would call our they're not winning any Nobel Peace Prizes. Xi Jinping, you know, Vladimir Putin. I understand he respects the power, blah, blah, blah. But the lack of deference he gives to other world leaders to the point of sounding like a school bully is just, like I said, the treatment of Zelensky. I don't know. I feel like I have heard a couple people that sole interaction was like a huge turning point for them, but I do generally feel like that was disgusting. I don't have to mince words. It was disgusting. Absolutely, Beaver. But I guess one of my biggest, like, qualms, and I haven't had enough big thoughts or, like, analysis, but it always feels like every time I get into an argument, I'm, like, reduced to, like, well, we just need to make people smarter. We need to, like, start educating our citizens better. When I say citizens, obviously you want to start it at, like, an elementary, like, a school grade level, right? I think most kids get through elementary school at pretty high rates. Middle school, it drops off, and then high school even more. But I feel like there's, like, there's got to be something, some way of doing it. Maybe it's not the material, but it's, like, a way of doing it. That make people better citizens across the board. And I know a lot of people are, like, super anti-federal government and they're chilly, but I do think when it comes to, like, the citizenship of the country and, like, what it means to be a citizen, that should be a federal thing. Now, I know the dangerous other half of that is people interpreting it like, oh, we should bring religion back in classrooms. This is a federal mandate because God's in everything, didn't you know? But I feel like normally and under normal circumstances, we won't understand the difference. But now I do truly understand that everything is, like, fair game, right? We pick holes in all the things in the word that we think we might have any bit of legal latitude. And then we just keep going from there, right? They just keep... make it make sense, I guess. The next president, twofold. I feel like this is what I wish more people would, like, kind of get in their heads. Some of these relationships this is irreparable harm. You don't get to undo it. The US public voted this person in. It doesn't matter if you didn't vote for him. You're a US citizen, right? You go to another country, you're defined by that, okay? And I do kind of feel like they don't understand that, like, these relationships are not going to, even in the next presidency or maybe even our lifetime, fix themselves. I think also there are some real economic impacts that people aren't understanding. This instability in the markets, regardless of whether they're going up or down, just, like, the fact that they're unstable is not fun. I don't know why we think, like, you kind of remember, it reminded me of his first term where, like, he was tweeting stuff and, like, instantly I was like, wait, was that like a direct order? Is that really happening? Like, what level? Like, people didn't know how to interpret social media in their litmus because it's coming from an official figure, but it's, like, super hyperbolic and, like, a little unhinged, or, you know, and you're just like, wait, is this real? And so I feel like part of it is, like, we've been we've been desensitized to the meaning and truthfulness of some of these words and statements that like I said, I think our partners feel very much the same way. How do you know what America's going to do? And this isn't like, oh, well, it's good because people won't know what's coming next. It's unpredictability. When you...
Fred.
I'm trying to think of a really good analogy. Let's say we're doing a group project. You don't want someone just to, like, whip out a chinchilla out of nowhere, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a level of, like, okay, like, ooh, this is, like, a fun little surprise versus, what the fuck is this person doing? Are they gonna show up? How about that? Are they gonna show up? Are they gonna like start smoking in the middle of my presentation? Like, the equivalent of just, like, absolutely almost sabotaging you. Not even helping you, just what is that range? Sabotage to, like, actually helping? It's just so bizarre. Like, you can't interact with humans that way. It's just not... It's not good. It's not good.
Get knocked up.
Yeah, so, like, as far as the amount of work that needs to be done, God knows. And I do say that. I don't know what that looks like. I do think, like...
Get knocked up.
There's something to be said that, like, I feel like some of our partners, regardless, kind of know that this is, like, a weathering of the storm. But those are also government officials, right? That doesn't mean the people of that country feel the same way. I'm thinking of Canada specifically. Like, you have Canadians that won't buy U.S. goods, right? So it doesn't matter what any of the behind the scenes policies are, or that maybe some Canadian officials know that this is just like a 4-year thing. It's scary. And then on the back of him, you know, flirting with the idea of running again, it's just like, there's no predictability in it. And so like, why would we even, they can't plan ahead for that kind of like unpredictability, right? Part of the like the planning and like the coordination of joint forces is going to be like kind of knowing where your partners are at, and like we don't even know where we're at right now. Like,
watch your step.
I'm trying to think of a good analogy that I can. It's like I don't know where this guy is right today. I don't fucking know. It's deeply concerning. I understand why like normal people wouldn't understand how deeply concerning it is. Here's the other thing with the signal gate thing. I thought just more people would understand why that's just truly, unabashedly, a very bad thing. No, don't make war plans, regardless of classification. I remember actually hearing another thing online. I think it was like doing like a I can't remember the word. There's a word for it. But there was like a panel of like Republicans, and they were just talking about their views on Signalgate, and like generally like there was a good half of them who didn't know what happened. And then there was like this one woman who was like, you know, I have a son in the military and we use Signal for communications, but he would never even message me anything close to that because he knows better. Like, that's not something you do, regardless of whether or not it's classified. Those are like details that should not be shared. And on an app like that, you don't share that. You never share it, but you don't do it, especially on open community. Like, I just, what? Like, it's wild. True, beef. I do feel like it does feel like a nightmare of like, but like this is the other part of me kind of venting and talking about it, because I'm not a super truly political person. Part of it is like cathartic, just like talking it out helps me like deal with my feelings, but the other half of it is like truly I don't want this anymore. Can I not? Can I unelect from this? Like, how do I make it go away? How do I make it stop? When does it stop? I think that other part, like the fact that I'm kind of grappling with, oh my God, it might be 4 years and some. Like, I don't want to sound doomer, but like maybe I should start coping. Like, what is that? What? You know? Am I going to watch this happen real time? What is that? Nervous laughter intensifies. And it's wild because I feel like a lot of people right now are struggling with, and that's why I do kind of blame the Democrats. They don't know what to do. Why isn't there like a unified direction? Why can't, like, what is it? I do find a little bit of faith that people and have more or less voted with their wallets, and I think that is probably Americans' strongest voice, is voting with their wallets. Not buying Teslas, right? It's silly, but I think by and large, I do think Elon Musk is tanking in the court of public opinion, and I find that semi-helpful. That doesn't negate the things that have been done and the things he will do, right? He still has unprecedented access to government systems, and can manipulate things. And his little team of people who he is putting in there like weeds aren't going away after he leaves, right? We've already fired regulators, you know, that were supposed to regulate some of his companies. Like, it just like the list is so absurdly long that like I don't even know. It's not even that you could undo any of it. They're ensuring that it's going to be lasting. Lasting at least for this presidency. I wouldn't surprise if another gutting has to happen just to, you know, doesn't implode on itself. I think one of my favorite non-favorite things is that song, we're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. I feel like it like underpinned the stress. At the same time, the kind of like apathy, because you can't really do much. One of those if you don't laugh you'll cry moments. It's sad and overwhelming. And I don't remember a time in my life I've ever felt like this. Not that it matters. I'm only 36. It's not like I've had a long life anyways. But yeah, generally speaking, she's a puzzlement. Okay, that's fire. I should not stand in that probably, yeah. Smart girl, not standing in the fire. That's an alive healer. I think that might be another reason I'm maybe liking World of Warcraft a little more, is just like focusing on a task that has nothing to do with any of these things. I do wonder, I actually saw a subreddit question. It was on Instagram, I'm not sure anymore. Hey, people who play WoW still, most of you are probably like over 30. How do you make time? Like, how does it feel? Like, obviously, the game has changed so much since it was first created. What does this look like for you, right? I think a lot of us are in like the hell mode of like, how are you even able to play? Yes. Got off the heal, man. Giggity. I feel like once again we're in a weird, I wouldn't say this is a tanking issue, but there's definitely something someone somewhere's not doing, because there's a lot of ads. Yeah, I need to not stand in that though, Angela. Could you go ahead and stop standing in the fire? Oh man, healers are the worst. Shouldn't be allowed outside. Put us back in our healing bubbles. Yeah, that's it's probably a better ism there, Fever. A post-apocalyptic game feels a little more calm. And to be fair, we all know Fallout has usually pretty banging music. So, I do appreciate finding joy in things, but I'm increasingly finding like the things I find joy in are kind of ruined by the present state, and not because people are ruining it, but because like the things around it. Like Bob's talked to me multiple times about getting a new computer, and I'm just like, I'll just stop gaming. I'm just so fucking over it. Like, I'm gonna think about like finding another computer just in case of the event that like we start
on you
3 million % tariffing China, or like, you know, chips again, like COVID era like dog shit starts happening, you know, and I gotta worry about actual necessities. And I guess that's kind of like the weird adult thing part I feel for the first time, because I've lived through a recession and, you know, some other shit, being a wonderful millennial. I just kind of feel like this is the first time I feel like I'm actually having to like, no, I really need to make sure I have savings. And oh, by the way, let me look at all those, let's not look at our TSB, and let's not look at our savings, and watching it all go down the shitter. I have time to recoup some of it. Bob doesn't. It does impact my life. So it's not just like fucking boomers who are trying to live through their retirements right now that are getting tanked. Again, it's weird to have to say the statement, these are real people. Like, real people are being like, just because it doesn't impact you doesn't mean that aren't a lot of us suffering. We're about to. Waiting for impact, I guess. That's probably a good analogy. Oh, you finished watching Fallout? I thought Fallout was actually pretty good. It wasn't great. I'm not gonna say it's great, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. But personally, I think I only played Fallout 4, right? Like, I've only ever experimented. That makes it sound like a weird bisexual experience. But yeah, I think I've only experienced one of them. You know what show that kind of reminded me of it? There was I want to say it's an Apple or Amazon one, and The Vault, I think it was called. Or no, Silo. Oh, Silo. That's what it was. Silo. Kind of similar-ish concept. You know, post-apocalyptic, but they live in silos underground, and I'm not gonna spoil any of it. But yeah, kind of same vibes-ish. Big secret, we don't know what it is. And they've been able to figure out life underground-ish. I enjoyed Fallout-ish. I think 4, the reason I stopped playing is because, once again, I had the age-old problem where I didn't want to do side quests. And I was doing the main storyline, and then it was like, no, but you can't go any further unless... I remember I was in a town somewhere, and they were like, you have to go, like, do this side quest before you do anything. I don't know, man. Making me do stuff. And it was in, like, a shitty town. It was, like, some cowboy yeehaw type bullshit that just wasn't appealing to me. And I think I had so many hours in the game, too. I just, like, wasn't here for them, like, stopping me. Don't stop me! Yeah, in games like Skyrim, I need to have full reign to go get killed by, like, bears that are 5 times my level, at least. And then I'll quit that way, you know? Rage quit like a normal human, getting my ass whipped. I don't know what's happening with these healers, man. I feel like they're treating me like I'm gonna treat all my fellow Americans. Trying to think if there's been any shows I've really enjoyed recently, though, either. I think maybe that's the other depressing part. I feel like arts have typically, and this has always been like just my very uneducated regurgitating, arts kind of like are created and centered around people escaping, right? Escapism and like imagination in times of need or you know, supplement things in real life. You think this would be like a really almost, I hate to use military terms, but like a target-rich environment, right? Like, not that you have material to work with, like comedians, etc. And even that, by the way, I found like lacking because things aren't funny. Like, it's just like, it's too real and too painful to be funny. And it's just not, like, you just can't make it funnier. It's just so funny by itself. There's no nuance you can bring to it. I feel like the arts, I haven't seen anything. I feel like there's been a lot of creativity kind of, I would say stifled. But like, I know the Kennedy Center news was like really disparaging. I think we talked about that on stream. It's just kind of like a really confusing place to be. Like, you can probably go see a show, no problem, in like all the major city hubs, but I just don't, you can't tell me like this environment isn't kind of demoralizing to artists. We had an all-call at work I need to watch because I was at a different briefing. And they were talking about transgendered use of bathrooms. Kind of seems like a silly thing, but in my workplace we have at least 2 to 3 transgendered members. So it is kind of shitty. Some sanity, I'll tell you what. I do fishing on my Panda. Fuck fishing. This game never got me into fishing. I will tell you that right now. It is one of the dumbest fucking mechanics. And it actually made me truly ass mad. They made it almost like necessary to like, you have to have food buffs and you're not in a guild that provides them. You better fucking start cooking, bitch. Like, I don't have time for this, man. What are you doing? Why do I have to have 5 million professions? Fuck off. God, it's so fucking annoying. I hate that shit. Oh, I did see an Amazon series on Amazon, but it's called Last One Laughing, I think. They have the UK and the Canadian version. I'm on the last episode of the Canadian version. The English one was amazing. Definitely, you know what I appreciate? There's a huge difference in the humor types. Like UK, Canadian, and US, completely different. Some things like the types of comedy are very universal, but like how the people implement them and the things that they think that their castmates / other comics will find funny is just kind of very interesting, for lack of a better term. Like, I find it very intriguing. It is funny too. The Canadian one I actually found less funny. I don't really have a very good sense of humor, but it would be to no one's surprise that English humor probably resonates a little bit more with me, dry, etc. But I think the Canadian one was very. They had Colin Mockery. What's that guy name? Super famous comedian. They had one of the guys from Letterkenny. He actually talks like that. That's his real accent. They had the blonde lady from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Very funny. But the type of humor I would expect from her. Green. Last name's Green. Canadian. So I totally resonate with Colin's comedy. What's interesting though, when no one's laughing, like when you're in a room where no one's laughing, those kind of gags are super hard to like find funny, if that makes sense. And I feel like some of his best work during that series was like he was trying to do character comedy. I think that was actually the funniest. But I've noticed like in the UK one specifically, it wasn't stuff like that which would get everyone laughing, including myself. It was like the weirdly mundane moments, and like the phrasing of certain things. It wasn't even puns. The sad thing I found on the Canadian one was that at least like 2 or 3 of the comics got themselves out. It was kind of pathetic. Like they laughed at their own jokes. Yikes. It's gonna be a big but yeah, the Canadian was pretty funny. Just different, much different from the English one. Yeah, I haven't seen the US one, but I'm sure it's like action packed. I don't know. I don't think I even have like a favorite comedian. I like what's his name? Is it John Popeye? He does like a lot of family type humor. I like his style of humor. Kind of like old fashioned in a way, but kind of conversational. Like I said, but it's more, and when I say family humor, it's not because it's polite. It's like, I'm going to talk about my kids and my wife. And like, truly as a parent, I feel like it was one of those, unless you have kids, like this is so truly relatable and like it works in your imagination very easily. Like, yep, something dumb my kid would say. Yes, that's a feeling as a parent I have felt. I've never heard of either of those. I'd be willing to. I need more comedy in my life for sure. I do find like it's a little bit of an investment, and I find when I don't find people funny, I find them really unfunny, like ungenerously unfunny. Like, I don't like you. Like, I take it as a personal thing. It's like, maybe just don't. You know what's kind of on the same vein is that I know a couple of people who really, really like Big Bang Theory. I hate that show. And I couldn't pin it before, and I saw a subreddit post about it once. Well, it had a comment that kind of encapsulated what I didn't know, what was striking my mind. The laugh track is so obnoxious. Like, the jokes never get a chance to be funny, but I just don't think they're funny to begin with. Like, it's like this self-deprecating, like, LOL humor about nerds, but like, it doesn't seem like they're in on the joke. Like, it's just, I just find it wholly unfunny. I know Bill Burr, he had like, I wouldn't say his moment of fame, but he's become definitely a talking piece a lot for his commentary on the current life. It's funny because you'd think the comics would be one of the top, like, so much material, right? Remember when George Bush was president? Do you remember how much great comedy came out of that? I think even Obama, like, there were so many jokes people could make. I feel like things are not very funny right now. Maybe I'm just watching the wrong shit. Very possible. Highly probable, actually.
Special coming.
I'm so busy fucking thinking about all the ways I want to off myself in a video game.
Phase change.
We got BritBox a couple months ago. I was like binge watching as time goes by with Judi Dench. I want to talk about something that just makes me happy. I'm such a fucking old lady. I can't. Sometimes I feel bad for myself. Like, what's wrong with me? It's not that it's like unrelatable solely. It's just, there's probably good stuff somewhere. I need to give it a chance. I think I found, and maybe the reason I was drawn to that stuff
special coming
is because I read like a lot of books while I was pumping Milkies for Liam, and in that I binged a couple series, a couple popular series of the romantasy variety, and although they weren't terrible, once I went back to reading some of like authors that have been around for decades, they seemed awful. Like, I was like, oh, I found that enjoyable, and then I read like a Mercedes Lackey book, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is like fucking Shakespeare level bullshit. Like, in my head, like, that it's just so not even profound. Like, that's just so well written. Like, I'm so invested. I kind of like everything about it. I was like, what the fuck did I just consume? Like, I had a retrospective like, why did I do that? It was like post-nut clarity almost. Like, it was crazy. Why did I read that? So now I actually pre-bought a different series, I think, by like Sarah J. Maas, and I was just like, and then the newest, what's that fucking dragon book? Wings of, I don't know. It got such terrible reviews, the last book. I'm like scared to buy it. I was excited for the last book, but then after rereading and reading books I hadn't read by some of my favorite classic fantasy authors really fucked me up. Like, in the best of ways. Like, oh my god, I need to go find books that aren't probably in print anymore, which is also frustrating. Going to Barnes & Noble and trying to find books that are not in print anymore, just on a whim. You're like, oh, well, I wonder if I'm gonna have it. Nope. The answer is no. It was not written in the last, I'm going to be generous and say 5 years. They don't have it. Unless it's a classic. So fucking frustrating. Yes, Mercedes, like, so good, man. Oh. And so this is the other thing I feel like I learned at an early age just because you like an author doesn't mean you're gonna love everything they write. Some series are just fucking exceptional, like whether it's subject matter, the characters, or like I don't know. There's some kind of fucking the timing in which a fucking author writes sometimes is everything, right? They're going through some I have no idea. There is magic behind sometimes the series itself. Away from lines. And I guess I felt like I was consuming like a lot of fast food, and I like got to have like some really good veggies for the first time, and it was like life-changing.
Special coming.
Oh my god, this is so good. What was I doing? Oh. So it definitely, on my little reading craze, it slowed me down a little bit because now I'm also having to do more research on books. I need to like blast, what haven't I read? What might I like? Right? That. And then, oh, please, I really want this trinket. I have it on my other character. It's such a good trinket. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Feel yourself granting it, sure. I'll take a trinket in any storm. I really want this one though. I've had that one. It's a good one. It's a good trinket. Give me it. Gimme, 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 gimme. It did. Who's the author who wrote *Handmaid's Tale*? I picked up. So that's more fiction. I'm definitely more of a fantasy lady. But I'm finding that there are certain fantasy writers, not fantasy, fiction writers. I can, Margaret Atwood, that I can definitely get down with. I just need to broaden my horizons, right? It's this one. Oryx and Crake. It was a 2003 novel by her. She calls it a speculative fiction and adventure romance. I was like, you know what? I might like this. This sounds like something in my wheelhouse, for lack of a better term. I'm actually really super pumped. What is this? I feel like I should have that there, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna put it here and then here and then here. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. It looks good. I bought it. I haven't opened it yet. I'm finishing up one of my fairy books. Yeah, we got our first piece of loot. Kind of a big deal. I'm just kind of underplaying that. I do feel like, so I really enjoy Goodreads because I feel like I can, there's a level of research and analysis I can do to like decide what's worth my time, but I can also get other people's opinions. I feel like when I rely on too many people's opinions IRL, I realize that although they're not wrong opinions, because it's your opinion, you can't be wrong, that I don't necessarily value the same things that they value in a book. It's not that like something's not objectively good, because I think there is some like very objectively good, well written, if anything, material. I wouldn't, if I had a choice, I wouldn't read it, you know, that kind of, not my cup of tea, not worth the time. I heard somewhere, and Lodi, you probably can attest to this. Apparently there's this like 3-episode rule for anime, which actually doesn't surprise me in the slightest. But my first initial thought was like, well, that's like no different and or the equivalent of me. I have to read the first 2, maybe 3 pages of a book. The summaries nowadays, I usually pick up a book based on title and cover. Don't go cover. I know. But good cover definitely helps. But then I'll read the summary. Sometimes I'll put the book immediately down after reading the summary, as in if we can't even get the summary right, not worth my time. Like how it's written, not necessarily the subject matter. Like if you're not writing the summary to the best of your ability, we're not here for it. But then I'll open up the book and I will stand there wherever I am and read the first 3 pages. So buying books online has become kind of tricky, but I've had like really, really good success. All the books I've bought online are because they're out of print, but it's because I did extensive research into either authors I like. What are the authors I like reading? What were their reviews on it? That's another fun one. They have their own fucking reviews on it? Hell yeah. Right? Like, by and large, you can, just like buying anything else, you can just sort through everyone's reviews. These people are using fucking emojis in their reviews. Nah, mate. I'm so glad you took hours to probably write this, and this is your career. You're probably making money off of reviewing these books on Goodreads. That's not it. I can't trust you. Use emojis. Call it silly criteria, but it's my criteria, okay? Real talk. And genuinely, I've not been stirred wrong by that either. Yeah, but so this 3-episode rule, and I'm like, yeah, you know, that's not wrong. But I feel like also that's not doing credit to the fact that some animes are fucking like, not some, but like there's some that are definitely longer than others. When you like take out all the music and all the other bullshit, like there's some that are just like abnormally fucking long. Right? Or maybe it's just the passage of time feels longer for those ones. And I am of the viewing phase with most things in my life. I have to be able to do like 3 things at once, so we're gonna have dubs on, man. I can't. There are very few things, unless it's a fucking movie. I can't be going through subtitles for you. I'm sorry. Call it lazy, whatever. I just don't have the undivided time and attention to be doing that. And I understand like the acting and it's different. Well, I know all the reasons to do it. Just I get. It's true. So I feel like on that same accord though, Beef, like there's been a lot of graphic novels, and I would say like, I mean like legitimately, I know they did like all of Game of Thrones, they made into like a fucking graphic novel. Like they've made legitimate novels into graphic novels, not vice versa. Like, oh, well, this is only a graphic novel. No, they've legitimately just taken books and made them into graphic novels, and I say, why not? I feel like if you can enjoy it more that way, go for it. You know what I mean? Now, I have a daughter who would rather read a graphic novel than a book, and from an educational standpoint, I need her to be able to, like, stomach a book, you know? I think some of the joys of reading kind of just need to be real-time exhausted, as in, like, tried. You need to try and stick through it and power through. I promise. It might be worth it.
Helps it.
There's a lot of death happening soon. I'm noticing. Why aren't the tanks swapping?
Phase change. Watch your step.
That gets some feel good. I enjoy that. Did anyone else enjoy that? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate your thought and concern. Don't do that. Oh, that's fine. I love making sense. So this is why I was all the way out in the fucking boondocks, by the way. I was gonna go ahead and not get hit by stupid shit. People run fucking stun balls through raid.
Watch your step.
Jesus fucking Christ. I hate myself right now, honestly.
Phase 2.
When I play this game. Self-loathing in Las Vegas, huh? What the fuck am I doing here? Does anyone else feel like I'm tanking right now? I didn't mean to.
Target you.
Okay. Okay, I hit this one first, but that's fine.
Help soak.
Jesus Christ. Don't die. Don't die. Why did I die? What did I die to? Did everyone die? Shadowward pain damage. I healed. I healed. I healed. How did he kill me? What happened to me? Molten gold knuckles hit me for 3 billion? Physical damage? The fuck is molten golden knuckles? Mug unleashes a blow of molten golden lava in a frontal cone. So basically positioning happened. That's gonna be a big yikes for me, boys. I did get fisted. True. Layman's terms, I got fisted. He punched the ground. It had to been then, like, it had to been like a frontal thing. Like, if you're in front of him while he does that. Because I can honestly say that's never killed me. Now, that being said, no one was topped off. I am a cloth wearer. Very possible that
Danger.
She can't. She can't. Can't withstand those blows. But I think I had, like, a renew on me. Maybe some atonement, but I don't know. That was wild. One Piece, the fucking anime that never dies. Jesus Christ. What is this? I didn't know I had this. What is this? Oh, cool. It's like a Batarez, but different. Run! Cartel jumper cables. I'm a potion master. I'm not. Why do I have fucking jumper cables, yo? What's up, hombres? Yo, I mass rezzed, so that motherfucker should be up. Just putting that out there. 1%. That is actually funny. We fucking wiped at 1%. Yoinks. Bottle service, boys. See, that's why I like this. I didn't zoom in soon enough. Like, you turn into like a server too as you pop bottles, man. It's just a cool little trinket. Also, the heals are pretty fucking legit. And was it a minute and a half cooldown? Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Love that. Popping bottles. If it comes back, yeah, it'll come back in the next 50 seconds. I'll do it again and I'll zoom in. Because I should be able to have it again before we ball. Because look at these motherfuckers taking forever jumping back. I do wish I had a blue belt to go with this Mog. Like, I'm here for the naval thing, but all the belts that I have that are, like, of this color and even of that, like, fucking timing era, they're just, like, big-ass belts that take up, like, half my stomach. You guys ready in 20 seconds? Oh, no. I might actually, well, I don't know. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm not gonna wait. Thanks, Perez. His death will come on swift wings in the name of Crimson Dragonblight. Okay, buddy. You did not pull. Okay. Oof, people are pulling trash. I was like getting actually upset. Ready? There she goes. Popping bottles, popping bottles, popping bottles, 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 bottles. Got him, boys. That's on someone accidentally pulling the boss. They're gonna like tab target. Take a step in this direction. You're gonna fucking tab target, okay? And we're all gonna die. This is the way it ends. Yeah, I like that trinket. Like I said, I have it on my my monk. I enjoy it. Haste and speed though are pretty. I wouldn't say they're interchangeable. I don't really know what speed does. Movement speed. Okay. Haste I usually like. It used to be back in the day like crit and haste for everything. I don't know what fucking. Okay, here we go. Versatility. Increases damage and healing done by. That's like what spell power used to be essentially. And decreases damage. So this is where I don't like it. Decreases damage taken. It's not that I necessarily need damage taken like reduced. It's like that weird tank stat. Like, I'm not saying it's not useful. I just don't know what the threshold is for like taking punches. I think we are gonna get the cloak though, the versatility cloak, just cause. Why not? See, the cloak I have right now has versatility, anyways. Yeah, same. Pumping bottles. I don't know about that. Is this the real life? Or is... Oh, this is my Szechuan chicken. You know what I love about the chicken? Oh, I don't have it. Shit. I'm ready. But like, the chicken, if I had my general abilities... No, I don't have cooking. If I could make a fire, my Szechuan chicken would roast itself. It literally becomes a fucking roast chicken. It's amazing. Oh, fuck. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're just gonna bust all the cooldowns. By the way, see, remember when I said that, like, that minute and a half cooldown's nothing? My cooldowns are like fucking 4 minutes long, dude. Wild. You know why we blow all the cooldowns, guys? It's called padding the numbers, alright? So what happens is, get some real strong first numbers. It's like making sure your tanks are super fucking topped off, right? And then
help soak.
You can just kind of coast. Okay, where are we taking that red line there, buddy? I mean, I don't know what you're doing. It's kind of weird. Can you personal space this? Oh my god, Beaver. Are you here? Okay, I need to tell you a very relatable NCO-like moment. And we're going to call it NCO adjacent. I got pulled aside yesterday. I'm a flight chief. New flight chief, mind you. And she goes, hey, your younglings? I was like, wait, younglings? What the fuck are you talking about? I was like, which ones? Like, your staff sergeants. I was like, oh, man, I have a lot. She's like, no, the ones that, like, work near you. I was like, well, they're not mine, but sure. Yes, my younglings. She's like, there's these little, like, resin creatures around our office that are made to be found, right? The purpose of these things is to be found. All right. She goes, can you tell them and have a conversation with them about not being weird about it? I'm like, what do you mean? Because you know me, I'm just not gonna be around them. What do you mean be weird? Like, well, I had a conversation with someone. Apparently they've been like entering other people's like offices, not just their workspaces, their offices. They're just kind of being a little creepy, a little much. Creating kind of awkward space for some people in their own space. Can you address this? And I'm like, for sure. Like, I personally don't see the appeal. And then I had another master and be like, oh, yeah, no, it's like Pokemon. I was like, well, yeah, no, I get the appeal, but I don't. Like, obviously, I just...
Phase change.
Subtext of what I didn't want to say was, I'm so busy in a day. I haven't personally found one. Maybe I would feel differently, but I just don't have enough time in my day. I'm not saying I don't have moments of boredom, but like, anyways, she's like, yeah, no, but like, I also don't want to like discourage them necessarily from getting them. I'm not saying they can't ever like go out and like, it's good that they're stepping away from their desk sometimes. And obviously whoever put them out wants them to be found. So I'm not saying that either. I just need them to be less weird about it. I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna ask for details. But okay. So bless. I'm working on a word today. And I have and I'm working on the word and I'm just like kind of pushing this in the back of my mind and at the same time worrying that one of the two of them is gonna go off and like do the thing and like be in someone's space and someone's gonna get upset. Because I'm not sure if it was civilian. Like I have no idea the context. It could have been anyone. It could have just been something she personally observed, and but it definitely came off like someone had come to talk to her about it, which is why it was a problem, right? And so like okay, I need to address this sooner rather than later. So I'm like, okay, I have a couple options. My options are I can either pull them aside, which is definitely gonna make it a little more weird, right? Like. It's not a super formal thing. It's not like I'm counseling you, right? I'm just telling you to kind of like chill, for lack of better words. Like maybe just be a little more professional about it or discreet even. Right? So, and then at the same time, I need to kind of couch my comments to not be so dissuading and forward as they were conveyed to me so that they never want to do it again, because it's also not the purpose, right? They're doing a thing that was actually made to be done. Like, they're out there to be found. It's just the way in which they're doing it. So then I was like, okay, well, so if I pull them aside, it seems like we're super formal. That's kind of weird. It's not a super formal thing. Definitely needs to be done though, right? Damn. And I was like, okay, well, I don't think meeting with them is a good idea. Like, we're in like a very open bay type situation. So I'm like, well, maybe I can just kind of like bring it up in conversation and like joke about it, right? Because it's funny. Like, hey, yo, by the way, those little things you collect, don't be weird about it. Just kind of like mention in passing. I was like, I don't think I'm going to have enough hours in my day to make that authentically happen and not sound weird in and of itself and bring more attention to it. And we have a Marine in our bay currently, and he'd take the opportunity to jump on it and make it weirder than it needed to be, aka publicly ridicule them. So I didn't want that to happen either. He's not a bad guy. I just know he would take it as a chance to rail on him. So then I'm like, okay, emailing them's too formal. I'm gonna do this in chat. I legitimately opted for like the text message version. Like, you know what? He's busy, I'm busy. I say he. The other staff session wasn't in today, so like I was literally just left with like one of the two people. And God bless him, he was so professional about it after I explained everything. He was like, yeah, we'll definitely be more discreet about it in the future. We don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, and I'll let the other staff sergeant know. I was like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You're always professional, so like I'm sure maybe it was just like an instance of like you both went in at the same time. Maybe that was a little too much for some other people too, because we do work in a place where like introverts abound. I think he took it really well. We didn't talk for the rest of the day, but we normally don't talk a lot, so it wasn't odd. Part of me was only super reticent because I felt like I had a really good relationship with one of those two sergeants where they would ask me for my opinion, etc., and like be really professional about like the person I talked to. So I didn't want that to damage it, as in like a tattletale scenario where like they thought anything they asked or did was going to be like kind of judged. I kind of tried just to make it about other people's feelings and not them. Like, hey, this is like making other people feel uncomfortable. It's not that you meant to. I know you didn't mean to, and you're generally like really professional. I didn't even say generally. I said you're like always professional. And I truly meant that. Like, I never could think of a time where this person wasn't professional. So like it was kind of odd on its face too. I kind of gave crazy eyes too when it happened. I was like, they what? No, sounds like an incident. Like, I'm glad this person, whoever they were, felt comfortable enough to tell you this, but It's like a big deal, not big deal kind of thing. The balance, I don't think I reached balance, but I feel heard. He understood. So like at the very least, he's not going to do it again. Like I say do it again, like he's not going to make it weird for someone else. In the intrusive thought of my mind, I'm like, oh, and I chatted it, so it's logged. Terrible thought to have. Super ungenerous. Not loving myself for that one. But true. Like, oh, good. I made sure that I chatted it, so in case something ever does happen again, I'm like, no, look, seriously, I had this conversation. Here's what it looked like. I hate that part of me. It's like, I wouldn't say conspiratorial, but untrusting. Because I don't think I think innately I want to trust them. But yeah, it was more of like an insurance thing. Yeah, I personally almost wished I am one of those seeker of the little figurines, so I could make it like a Wii thing. Like an actual Wii thing, but I don't do it. And I was kind of like super duper worried that it was going to sound like I don't like them doing it. Which is why I like a couple times in that conversation quantified like, no, but really you don't have to stop doing that. I don't think that is very explicitly not the message. It's not stop this altogether. It's, can you just like do it with a little more cognizance of things going around, like the people who are around you, maybe when people are not there, right? Yeah, like I also didn't want to be condescending. I didn't want to have to like provide suggestions, but I didn't want to like leave it up to the imagination either. So part of me was like, you know, it just could have been housed on and blah, 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 you know, like trying to, yes. It's one of my favorite transmogs. Do that. I love this. I love this mog. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. She's beautiful. Who is this girl? Yeah. I still don't have this? What? The last boss we didn't queue for? That's wild. Oh, that should be good loot. LOL. You still have a blue belt, blue hands, and a blue main hand. Not crazy about that either. Probably could upgrade some of these. I would really like a 4 set. What do we have? Chest. It's the chest item. You need to get a tiered chest. If I can get a purple chest, I can upgrade it to tier, I think. It depends on the type. Yeah, their group. I got you. Anyways, it definitely went better than I thought it was going to go. I imagined every scenario, and I imagined... I don't know. I'm still obviously feel a level of uneasiness, because I feel like... I'm not saying the flight chief should have. I just would have liked the flight chief to address it. Because I'm not their supervisor. I just work with them. And like, I think I could have probably just been like chatted that and like fixed it too. I was called over, I was beckoned, and then I fixed it. You know, like it made it seem like a much more serious thing. And maybe I'm just reading a situation. Makes me feel fucking crazy. Crazy making me. Again, maybe it was more serious than I thought it was. What? Oh, I should be getting herbs, guys. They're supposed to be telling me to grind. I have taken a funny-ish stance on some of these Making America Great Again memes on like the children yearn for the mines. Minecraft has been actually preparing our children for the great jobs they could have in the future. Respectable, hardworking American jobs. I'm not gonna apologize for sounding condescending either. I love that innovation has taken us so far as to automate some of these things. I love that our economy is doing so well we can buy these things from other countries. So we can focus on higher skill labor. That makes me happy. I'm going to rejoice in those things. I don't think they're bad things. So, to that end, fuck it. You know? Yeah, I thought that was a popular meme, too, by the way. Apparently not, because I brought it up at work and they were like, what? You know, the children, they yearn for the mines? No? No one's heard this? But, of course, my workplace being what it is, there was a lot of dark humor after that. How every kid's, like, issued a little canary and their nimble hands can get in some of the cracks. Oh, has anyone seen the Minecraft movie? It's so funny. Someone at work was, like, telling me that, it's definitely slated to, like, outgross everything. And I'm like, well, duh. I don't know if it's so much Minecraft as a Jack Black. Is it a combination? Is it both the things? Right? Does anyone know? I think it's a... surprised it took them this long. I think what I like about it, much like the Lego movie, you can do everything and nothing, right? Like, realistically, it's not... I say that, not being a Minecraft person, does it have a story? I thought it was, like, open world memes, so, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I think, obviously, there are core characters, but I don't think there's not, like, a legit plot line you're gonna ruin. Like Tomb Raider or something. All the nerds are gonna get mad at. It's a fucking kids movie. How do you fuck that up? I don't know. Looks interesting. Like I said, it's got Jack Black in it. Usually, it's a pretty good sign. It's so well Super Mario movie. I think it was the last thing I saw him in. Maybe he was in something else. It's gonna come to me. There's a story in Minecraft? Okay. Well, I rescind everything I said. Obviously, I'm a fake nerd. Or a terrible mother or both. Doesn't even fucking understand Minecraft. Oh, we did win the neck item. Huzzah. That's good memes. Our neck item wasn't terrible. This is better. This is the same one I have my other one. I don't know about that mastery, though. Crit haste I would rather have, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is awesome. Yeah, minor upgrades, but good memes. It's that chest, hands, and waist. As long and main. The trinket was a big one. So usually your big slot, like for as far as numbers go, like hitters, this was back in the day because like obviously I only she didn't keep updated. It's always gonna be like your weapon, your trinkets, right? Stat wise, your chest items will usually have more stats. Back items are hard because everyone fucking wears a back item. And that's actually why weapons and trinkets are hard as well. And why it's not necessarily the output, although trinkets usually specifically are output and your weapon. But the output is also balanced / makes it more rare because everyone has 2 trinket slots and everyone has a main hand slot regardless of their class. So although you can kind of trade off certain weapons I can't use that other people can use, etc., there's not, it's still weapons I can use there's also shared by like fucking 6 other classes. And I'm just making that number up. I don't even know how many classes there are anymore. I don't even work here. I don't go to this school. All right. But yeah, back items, same thing. That's why I chose the back, because backs, I rolled on back items for like 3 weeks now. Haven't got a fucking back item, so we're just biting the bullet and doing it. Chest gear, definitely gonna have more stats. That's why I feel like, yeah. So like, look at the armor alone, and then 3,000 in. I don't even think I have an item that has 3,000 in. My shoulders are pretty close at 2. But that's a tiered item, man. If I could, right now I'm rocking an untiered pant, but I have a tiered pant, so like, I could 4-set. My 4-set is what? What's my 4-set? When your power word shield is completely absorbed by an ally, they are granted insurance as a 40% effectiveness. Allies with your insurance or absorbed effects receive 15% increased healing from you. So like once their bubble absorbs all the damage, they have a X percentage probability of getting insurance. And then I can pump more heals, bruv. So it would be nice. It's not necessary. We have one more dungeon, and we have one more boss. It's literally the end boss, and then I can get on my, I don't know. It's up to you guys. Do you want to see me do Panda next or my mage? The mage queues might be not as long, unironically, because everyone needs DPS. I'm surprised I didn't queue already. It's kind of weird. It's a one boss fucking queue, so I don't know why this is taking forever. Kinda weird. Wicked weird. What is this? Arena skirmishes? Okay, I could have actually helped this guy out and just not done that. There's not a time warp either, is there? Oh, I should just like be on the ground. Why am I trying to fly with no power or whatever this is? We're gonna stand here. Is there anything I can... Oh, cool. I'm in combat. That's super helpful. Fuck me, man. I was gonna look at the calendar. Bro, we don't PvP, by the way. There's just no way. Liberation of the Undermine unlocks. Noble Garden. Oh, it's like a semi-Easter event. That's not... Volunteer Guard Day? What is that? I don't think I've seen that event. What is that? Volunteer Guard Day. There's a 2-day event? Wacko. Time walking. Dungeon. I haven't seen a time walking raid in like more than a second. Spring Balloon. Delves bonus. We've done some delves. I don't know, man. So the last expansion had this too. I'm just not here for it. March of the Tad. I miss March of the Tadpoles. Oh, man. Last weekend, I missed March of the Tadpoles. It's so depressing. I guess Darkman Fair is going on right now, which would explain all the aesthetic item things. Okay, I obviously need to get off this thing because, oh, no. Every 5 seconds, I keep getting into combat with one of those fuckers down there, but I'm not near them. I don't know why I'm getting in combat. I'm just gonna keep walking this way. It's actually super duper annoying. There we go. Aww. Little ground guy. And here, somewhere. Boom. Oh, fuck all the way off. Ruining my vibe, man. I'm just trying to get some herbs. Some sweet, sweet herbs to smoke later, man. One more insurance than Geico. I'm gonna try and make my way back. I probably need to bust some cooldowns for alchemy. And then there's something else I would need to do. Or it truly was, I'm not even making that up. Something I need to turn in. Uh-oh. I'm losing my mind. Sickness is taking hold, guys. What was it? What did I need? I think we looked into upgrading some of the gear. We didn't want to. I could upgrade the back and neck. Are any of those stats? I don't like the versatility stat. Maybe if we could do the haste. Well, it's not haste. It's speed. It makes you move faster. What the fuck is that? That's weird. Let's see if this guy can do anything. She can like restat it. She doesn't like make it better. She just restats it. We can reset our back to be what? Crit and versatility. That's literally what it is. It makes it better. What's the difference? 2000 and Is there a spot the difference? Can you guys, all I see is that like less crit, more versatility. I don't think that's my life. I don't think I want to trade crit for versatility. I'm good. I'm good, fam. We're good. We don't need her. There's one more thing we were gonna do, but I already forgot. Oh, potions, sorry. Potions, what are you? She's over here. I feel like I have to clean out something. My bag none stopped working, so oh, I can unlock a new specialization. Super pumped. Pump up the jam, pump it up. I don't want to unlock a new one though. I guess we'll do potions, that's fine. I don't really want to though. Have I said anything? Mana, create all. What do we need more of? Not vials. Blessing blossoms. Okay. Weird. Create some of these. Healing potions. 5 vials per? That's crazy. What a riot. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'll go up there. Thank you. You have a good night. Make sure you go to the toilet before you go to bed. Tomorrow I have soccer too, so don't forget. I thought the core-way catalysts are what I needed for this. What is this? What do I need from here? Hide unavailable? Oh, I needed herbs. I should have saved some of my herbs is what I just was told essentially. Fuck you too, man. I can't do the flask I need yet. Some of these mats I haven't seen from picking herbs, so it's kind of a little. Oh, got feelings. I got a feeling. I don't have any knowledge to apply, I don't think. Or like, I can't see anything in this bag view. It's garbage. Supremo, I'm doing it right, man. Crit on mage. Mage is good. Crit, yeah. For me, it's good because I don't like directly heal that often. That when I do, having that crit proc other things, so like a flash heal, those crits will like help trigger other things. That's why I say proc. Yeah, they'll help fuck other shit up. Bro, it says time in queue is 15 minutes. It says estimated time 30 minutes. I guess we're gonna do some dungeons. Oh fuck, man. Why is it taking so long? That's wild, no? I can get 140 gold per fucking dungeon I do. So I might as well do that. It's just, it's fucking, what's today, Wednesday? It used to be though. So like, I also feel like I talk about stats in like a weird past tense because they rebalance some of them and they don't mean what they used to mean anymore. Like we used to have spell power. That's why I'm like, I don't know what versatility, they brought versatility and I'm like still a little unsure what that means. Haste has changed a lot of meaning too. It used to be like haste was actually applied to the speed at which you move as well as how fast you're casting. But there's also, for like most of all these things, there are thresholds. Once you hit a certain number, it doesn't get faster. So you don't want to try and keep stacking certain stats once you've already hit that threshold. You need to rebalance in other areas and focus your numbers there. You know what I mean? If like you've maxed all your, we're gonna use spell power because it doesn't exist. You've maxed all your spell power, then you should probably be focusing on things like haste or crit. Wherever you're lacking. Analyses I dare not do. Oh, why do I have 2 time warped of those? Same belt. It's kind of weird. Man. I need that. I got a lot of garbage from the time warps. I thought I got rid of, honestly. And they're soulbound, so I don't know why. If they're warbound, that means that like I can trade them to my other characters. Part of my war party, but They're all soulbound, so I don't really know what was. I'm not really sure what was going on there. Please, I don't think I need this. Oh yeah, see, warbound until equipped. But I know I don't need this, by the way. I can just get rid of this. My mage doesn't even need those shoulders. That's just silly. It's a waste of a bag slot. We're gonna go into a dungeon. Humpty. We're thriving. No, that's not true. We're surviving. It rhymes with thriving. We survive. Let me put on the, I think you guys feel like I've had enough verbal diarrhea? I think I've had enough verbal diarrhea. I probably don't need to,
and Canada, he lifted the sanctions that Trump had placed on Russia, forbidding them from building the Nord Stream 2 pipeline between Russia and Germany.
Not
that
oil.
Was just a few months before Russia announced their invasion of Ukraine. I'm not trying to blame this at all on Biden. Obviously, what Russia is
now, that being
doing
said,
is wrong,
I'm almost 2 hours in stream. Ari just went up.
Wrong on this. We all agree.
I need
on
to
that.
go be with the
what
kids.
I can also say is that Russia was capitalizing on what they viewed as a weak
he needs to get in their pajamas and stuff.
To push forward.
And Lily Rose is not going to stay
like
put.
They had
So
the Obama administration and Crimea.
So going into that, if Russia's
these streams, I didn't get on nearly as early as I should have.
Why would the response to that to be to exclusively be
I have to go take care of the kids
and no one else?
Because and like we've said many times, and like I just mentioned, is that when it comes to a fellow superpower, you have to tread lightly.
Other than Canada.
Well, Canada's not.
Or China.
Or
China.
Canada's not an adversary. Canada is not a superpower.
So can I just debunk the idea?
Canada's not a superpower.
Biden was way stronger on, or sorry, can I debunk the idea that Biden was less strong on Russia? Russia was frozen out of the global order for the past 3 years. Nobody would talk or meet with Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin was literally like pushed out. They were shutting him. Yes. Trump has already brought him back into the fold. And what has he gotten? Trump has gotten tricked by Putin. Trump stopped sharing intelligence, U.S. intelligence with Ukraine. You remember that happening a few days ago, right?
Keep going.
Right when Trump stopped sharing U.S. intelligence with Ukraine. So yes, that happened, right?
Keep going.
Just say yes, that happened.
No, but just keep going. I'm trying to hear you out here because I have something I want to say.
Putin took advantage of that opportunity to push forward. He literally made Trump look like an idiot. Trump stopped intelligence sharing. Putin took advantage of that. Off the back of that, he killed hundreds of Ukrainians. So the idea that Putin is negotiating good faith is dumb. The idea that we should have a cordial relationship
I'm not saying
with
it doesn't have to be super strategic, but like, what does it cost in the grand scheme of things?
Our ideals. Putin's to his very core.
Wild to me.
Like if you did surgery and looked into this guy's heart, he's just anti-Western.
Look at the way Zelensky came into the Oval Office.
It's not like the intelligence is not getting gathered, so sharing it does what?
He's not even wearing a
What's
suit.
the bill for that?
He's not coming in showing
If this is all
respect
about
to
money,
individuals.
saving
He's
money,
making
right?
jokes,
Efficiency?
conversation with Trump.
Zelensky is an
and so it's like this guy.
You have
not just an
quantifiable
actor
harm that comes from not sharing
politically,
it.
He literally is an actor.
What happens
His background
if you
is
do?
an actor.
Number one, so is Trump.
Putting on a show throughout.
So is
Also,
Ronald Reagan's, by the way.
So is Trump was like a reality show guy, but does it equally bother you when Elon
This
Musk
is also
leads
true.
a
I actually heard this
cabinet
talking
meeting
point.
with a
I'm gonna
baseball
pause
cap?
this. I heard a talking point that I think, I guess I misunderstood the importance of, because it does feel like that's the world I'm living in that Trump was never a successful businessman. He was, most of his money, like gains, I'm not talking losses, his gains were from being a TV personality. That is how he made money, right? Entertainment. His businesses didn't do well. So I guess I'm just a little confused. And I say confused, I thought, not that just that it was established fact. I didn't understand the importance of people thinking that he was like this really like strong negotiator. I mean, he has a book called The Art of the Deal. But like, I didn't understand that people really didn't understand that, I guess. Or rather, even that it wasn't, I guess I undermined the power of it even. Because I'm seeing like the entertainment parts come out and how we're doing stuff and conducting business. But I don't, I guess I'm failing to see the other persona, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know that was such part of the aesthetic that made it appealing to his voter base. That doesn't surprise me too much. Being from New England, etc., I obviously would not personally identify, I think, with a lot of his voter base for other reasons. Granted, New Hampshire, it's not necessarily a super liberal state, but yeah. I just didn't know how important it was. That was all. That was my 2 cents. Yeah, the branding thing. Yeah. And actually, it makes more sense from a business perspective why that brand part, right? And like objective reality and like not really being afraid to lie and or stand in those lies. Like you just need to like obfuscate until the next one comes on, right? Like you just need to divert attention. It's not actually about the thing itself, right? Yeah. Like those parts all kind of like already made sense to me. I guess I didn't know to the base like how important that image was and how like maybe even harmful some of this tariff stuff was to that image, and that people actually probably started to doubt his rationale. Now, that being said, I think even in this Jubilee panel, this roundtable, they specifically, like, there's a lot of cope. You gotta have a little pain to get a little gain. What? Like, I'm sorry. He said he was gonna lower prices, right? Or was that just another meme? Was that a sick own? Like, I don't know. Prices aren't being lowered, so by like that metric, I don't know, what does success look like? Are we moving the goalposts on success, or like I don't want higher prices, and unlike other people, I understand that once they go up, they're not gonna come back down. And when I say that, I think a lot of the voters really hoped he was gonna make the prices go down, and maybe I wouldn't say a sole voter issue, but maybe did. Maybe that swayed it. That was just enough. Well, surely his unconventional thinking and methods would truly be better for our economy. I don't know. That beef. Yeah. I do feel like that rhetoric, like, even though it's very basic and I just don't, it's weird, the messaging. I think a lot of people felt the financial pain of happening now. So even the reality that the economy wasn't technically bad, it felt bad, right? Like the feeling argument was like, no, but it doesn't feel good. Like these prices are really bad. And everyone kind of like hoped, I say everyone, I think most people hope that like things go bad. We can fix this somehow, right? We can fix it. But it was really just COVID, right? COVID, eggs were, unlike some other people, I don't think eggs were his fault. Trump's not solely responsible for eggs. I'm not that petty and stupid. That being said, you shouldn't promise people to lower egg prices because you can't do that. That's probably not in your power as president. But people buy it hook, line, and sinker, man. It just like, man, there's like, not even naivety. Like I just don't get it. Why did you think you could do that? I'm not saying you couldn't lower prices on certain things. Eggs, that ain't it. Unless he's gonna specifically target eggs, if that's the most important thing. Now, I thought it was important only because Easter was coming up, and maybe this is like a voter-based thing that like we really need people to be able to afford eggs before Easter, and we were gonna make a surge for this one time. Not that they're going to necessarily lower the prices forever, but well, so we're rational though, Beaver. I realize this though. Like, I'm not gonna blame someone for something that was out of their control. He didn't cause the flu. I didn't expect the president to monitor the the fucking bird flu, right? Like, but those thresholds are different on which side, I think. And I say side, I make it sound partisan. I don't think it's a partisan thing. I think the way that it's being rationalized right now is really super partisan. Like, I think a logical human could just say like, yeah, no, the president's not responsible for egg prices. But I can't tell you fortunately, in my history of as an adult, presidents always blamed for things like gas prices. Now, obviously, that's a little more rational because you can see you can draw sometimes a line to that via world conflict, oil prices. There's so many other things that could affect the price of gas. but I don't necessarily think the price of gas is a sign of how the economy is doing, or even my cost of living, right? If I have to pay more for gas, well, that's going to be okay if my general cost of living is like lower, right? Gas is like, I have to get to work, yeah, but it's never gotten so Europeanly absurd that it's unaffordable. I don't know. Creature comforts too. Hi, Miss Lily. All right. Woo! Ah, no, Lily! All right, Mama, this will be my last one, promise. We're about to hit the boss. You gonna come kill things with me? I thought we were gonna do the boss, but I don't think we're gonna. We're gonna have time. Yeah, I think it's super weird. I say it's super weird. I guess, I wouldn't say it's one-sided. I feel like Democrats, though, we were generally looking towards our electorate because obviously we didn't vote in Trump. So it was like, what are you doing? Like, can you help me understand any, you resisting? Have you tried to like work bipartisanly to stop any of this? It's just some organized effort I should be aware of. Like, I don't know, man. Part of me was like, hi, it would be a little less painful if I felt like lawmakers had any power. I guess that's a weird thing, is seeing the Senate and Congress being cucked, and I guess we don't care. Like, not a big deal. Other branches of government, just whatever, man. Executive has supreme over everything. You didn't know? You didn't know? I don't need the other two checks and balances. No, 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 no. Do what I want. What you gonna do? I feel like it's not even just the reliance of fact. I would say they're a prisoner to it. And I'm actually gonna say that. I think, was it Kamala or was it Hillary? I don't remember. When they go low, we go high. That thought process, not the sentiment itself, but the thought process of like literally trying to be above the fray is not helping. But to that end, relying on fact and truth like it means anything. These are not the bounds in which the other players are. It's like playing a sport when not everyone agrees on the rules. You know what I mean? If you're playing soccer and people start using their hands like it's fucking rugby, you'd be stupid not to use your hands. Right? It's not the same game anymore. You can't... The rules of the game have changed. It just seems elementarily, like, silly to pretend like everything's fine when, like, clearly beyond the fact that it's not. We're not holding rule breakers accountable. So, like, in any capacity. So if you don't abide by the rules, we're also not going to do anything? So, you not only have you de-incentivized them to break the rules, like, you're actually just giving them a free pass. Like, what the fuck? We're not in the same space anymore. What the fuck are we doing? So, I generally don't think, the fact part is as important, because you can shout fact all day, every day. It's not going to give any high ground. It's not going to make people understand better. Because their alternative reality is, you know, all just alternative fact, right? They just see the world differently. It's just through a different lens, which I unironically have seen in my lifetime. Like, I've met people who just see the world differently. Like, it's not objective. Like, it's not different truths. Like, not living my truth, man. Like, it's literally just... people are just different thoughts and opinions. They value things differently. This is like, holy shit. I'm telling you the earth is round and you're telling me it's flat. I can't... where do we go? I'm not saying I can't argue it. It's just like, we can't start talking about the weather if we can't even get to that point, right? Like, making all the other conversations, I would say next to impossible, but are impossible. Like, you can't actually have meaningful conversation because you can't start anywhere. Oh, it's so fucking frustrating. And I have no one to blame. I unironically almost don't even blame the people who are elected Their constituents elected them. Some cases. Junior senators, ones we didn't know any better. There have been a couple we knew better, and we re-elected them. We, the constituents, re-elected them. You get what I'm saying? I genuinely feel not only have the politicians forget that they work for the people, it's weirdly being weaponized in a way. Like they're being loyal to a person, not themselves, but also not their constituents who elected them to begin with. Because I guess the voter base is so stupid that we can just pour money into campaigns and misinformation, all the other memes. So like it doesn't actually matter. Like your actions don't matter. None of it matters. I guess this is the thing I'm trying to grapple. None of it matters. And I say it doesn't matter because it has been shown it doesn't matter. Like no one's being held to account. There are no repercussions. Nothing has happened, guys. A couple things have been brought in front of courts. A couple things. Here's something that bringing things in front of court takes time. Some of these things, as we already established, the harm, the damage, they don't get to undo it. People getting deported. Let's hypothetically say a U.S. citizen gets deported to Venezuela. And we're like, okay, psych, we didn't mean to. Courts rule that. For some reason, the Trump admin agrees. Oh, yeah, no, that was a big whoopsie. Sorry. Hey, Venezuela, can you give me back this person? What if Venezuela says no? You know, no one in the U.S. is going to go to war with Venezuela over one human being. Like, it's laughable. And that's if it even got to that point where, like, we didn't try and use some, like, legal loophole to convince everyone not only are they not a U.S. citizen, but they deserved. Well, okay, well, maybe they're a U.S. citizen, but they're a criminal, right? We don't want those people in our country. I understand they're a U.S. citizen, but I mean, they're basically subhuman trash, right? Because they're the worst of the worst. So we shouldn't treat them even like U.S. citizens. We shouldn't treat them like people. They're not people. We should send them like I can't go down the logic trees of like why people rationalize it. It's just wild. Like the unironic slippery slope fallacy. Like it doesn't take any mental gymnastics. I can write all the lines. I'm not an incredibly smart human being. It's just I've never been alive for this. It's just weird. It's weird. I've seen the opposite happen. We're like one-off cases. We fight tooth and nail and like the honor of humanity hangs in the balance, you know? Like it's this like super big fucking important thing. And it's like almost the opposite where like we're just hand waving like these super big fucking important, unprecedented, wild things. Wild. It's because gravity probably doesn't exist in their worldview either, so they're gonna get confused. Okay, well, as you can see, the revolution has come in the form of Lily Rose. I'm gonna get off, guys. It was a pleasure seeing and talking to most of you. I know we had a lot of Lurkers tonight. Hi, sweetie. But I appreciate you just kind of like chilling with me, even just listening to me, humoring me. Hi there. Hi. She's super happy. We're gonna go change her and I'm gonna go to bed. And they make me, you know what, I will tell you what, I have not at all taken for granted my babies and they have made every single day so much better. Oh my God. Every single day is better. When I had poop on my hands. Still poop. You're so big. It's bananas. Ew, no licking. It's nasty. No licks. All right, guys. You have a good night. Stay safe. Stay away from people if you can. Stay inside where it's safe in your virtual worlds. I'll see you guys later this weekend, probably. Ari doesn't have any soccer games. We're going to try and celebrate Bob's birthday belatedly. But apart from that, I don't know. Apart from house chores and shit, there's fucking adulting that we have anything going on. So hopefully I can at least get one legit gaming session. Hopefully, careful please. Maybe some FPSs. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. I still have a lot to do on here. I only got not even full through a whole one character, so I will talk to you guys later. Peace, love, chicken nuggets. Ow, baby, baby, baby. Fireball. Dude. Thank you, sweetheart. Say night night. Night night.